Have you ever wondered what makes a person like a truly good person? I'm not just talking about someone who stays out of trouble, but someone with a character that's just solid, unshakable. Well, believe it or not, about 3,000 years ago, someone wrote down a kind of blueprint for exactly that. It asks this huge question and then gives a surprisingly down-to-earth answer. So yeah, let's dive into this ancient guide for a blameless life. So this is the question that kicks the whole thing off. Now, back then, this was pretty literal. It was asking who is worthy enough to stand in a sacred place. But for us today, you could totally read it as what kind of person has the character to find real stability and peace in their life? Who has that deep inner strength? It's a question about the ideal, the gold standard for human character. And the rest of this text is all about answering it. All right, so where do we even begin with something like this? Well, the blueprint suggests it's not about big, showy public acts or just memorizing a list of rules. Nope. It all starts inside. The very first step is all about calibrating your inner compass, getting that foundation of personal integrity right. Now, that first keyword, blameless, it's probably not what you think. It doesn't mean you're perfect, that you never, ever mess up. Not at all. As you see right here, it's about leading a life of integrity. It's about the direction you're pointed in, your overall commitment to doing the right thing, especially when nobody's looking. It's about the wholeness of who you are. And right out of that foundation of integrity, two really crucial actions just naturally flow. First, do what is right. Pretty simple, right? It's about making sure your actions actually line up with your values. And then second, speak the truth from sincere hearts. And I love that little detail, sincere hearts. See, this isn't just about not telling a lie, it's way deeper. It's about your words and your heart being totally in sync. These two things, they're the non-negotiable starting point. Okay, so you've set your inner compass. Great. But, integrity isn't really a solo sport, is it? So the next part of this blueprint shows how all these internal principles get put to the test out in the real world. In our communities, in our relationships with other people, this is where the rubber really hits the road. And wow, this slide lays out the choices involved just perfectly. It's all about active, conscious decisions. So over on the left, you see what this person refuses to do. They won't gossip. They won't tear people down with their words. And you gotta remember, in a small, ancient town, your reputation was everything. Gossip wasn't just mean. It could literally ruin your life. And now, look to the right, what they choose to do. They actively reject what's wrong, they honor people who are living with integrity, and, this is a big one, they keep their word. Let's just pause on this line for a second, because it is so powerful. And keep their promises even when it hurts. I mean, that's the real test of commitment, isn't it? It's easy to keep a promise when it's convenient, when it costs you nothing. But what about when it does cost you? Your time, your money, your pride? This blueprint says real character shows up when you honor your word no matter what it costs you personally. Okay, now the blueprint gets super practical and moves into our finances. The first principle here is about lending money without charging crazy exploitative interest. Think about it. In a world with zero social safety nets, a high-interest loan wasn't just a business deal. It was a one-way ticket to ruin. It could lead to you losing everything. So this principle is this powerful stand against profiting from someone else's desperation. It shows that money is a deeply ethical thing. And the second financial rule is just as potent. This person cannot be bought, period. Their integrity is not for sale, so they refuse to take a bribe to twist justice or hurt an innocent person. And this just drives home the point that how you handle your money has massive social consequences. It's not just about you. It's about being a pillar that actually helps hold up justice for the whole community. So, we've walked through the whole blueprint, right? The inner compass, the tests out in the community, the financial ethics. But what's the point of all this? What's the result of living a life with this kind of deep integrity? Well, the text wraps up with a promise that is both profound and incredibly simple. And there it is. Such people will stand firm forever. That's the payoff. It's a promise of just unshakable stability. I mean, picture a tree with these incredibly deep roots in the middle of a hurricane. While everything else is getting blown around in chaos, a life built on this blueprint has this core of resilience that just can't be broken. It's talking about a deep, deep sense of security. And that brings us to the end, and right back to our own lives. This blueprint is thousands of years old, but these principles, they feel like they could have been written yesterday. So the question this ancient text leaves us with is this. In our world of social media, complicated finances, and just constant change, what does it really mean to stand firm? And, maybe more importantly, What's one small step you could take today to start building that kind of foundation in your own life?